driving to work. Oh, excuse my hair. It looks a little crazy right now, but anyway. Yep, I'm back in my car on my way to work. Only working a couple hours today in-house, and then I'll be remote the rest of the day. This morning I woke up realizing that, so lately I've been like in this state of really just not caring, like, and I think I said this in one of my other videos, but I don't know what is going on with me. I don't know what it is, why it is, but it's just like something has shifted in my brain, in my body, that I just don't have too much capacity to care about things that are, to me, like, I don't want to say they're minuscule, because I don't want to like downplay somebody else's emotions or feelings or situation, whatever the case may be. And this is just me like speaking in general. But my capacity to hold space for others is just like, for others and for other things that seem kind of dumb to me. I don't know what other word to use, so that's what's coming out right now. It may not be the right word, but minuscule maybe is a better word. But so like, and I'm realizing this morning I woke up, I made the connection that I think part of it is, well, yes, I'm getting older, so you get older, you get wiser, hopefully, but I really think it's because of my mom's Alzheimer's diagnosis, and I'm reflecting a lot on that, processing that, and I'm for my mom, I'm looking back on her life and thinking about all the time and energy that she spent being anxious and worried and stressed and upset about things that really she had the power to make a decision to not have to feel that way. And I'm not disregarding people that suffer from anxiety or depression or any kind of mental health diagnosis, because I too struggle from it. But there's other things in life, there's other decisions that she could have made in order, like, we all make choices at the end of the day. Like, that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, because a lot of times we want to blame other people for things, and there are some things that are systematically totally against us, but there are things that definitely we have the power to make the decision. Sometimes that means things are going to be harder and uncomfortable, but we do have the power to make a decision in most cases. And so I'm thinking about, like, there's so much suffering that she went through, and man, I wonder what she would have did about those situations had she known she was gonna get diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's at 55. You know? And it's really got me thinking, like, my mom is 55 with early onset Alzheimer's. And I don't know what my destiny is on my life, but the genetics in my family for it are high. And if there's any chance that I am going to have any form of dementia, there's not a chance that I'm going to spend my great years consuming my body and my mind with nonsense, especially because, quite frankly, And I don't know because I haven't looked at any articles or anything, but I'm sure that the chronic stage of stress and anxiety and depression that my mom stayed in, I'm sure had an effect on the acceleration of her symptoms happening at 55 years old. Maybe they don't, but I'm sure there's some correlation. Because a lot of uncontrolled or unmanaged mental health disorders can result in symptoms of forgetfulness, memory loss, different things like that. So they have some overlapping things. And it's like, you're 55, if you spent 30 out of your 55 years chronically worried and anxious and stressed and or up and down stages of depression and happiness and anxiety, and I'm sure her brain was on overdrive her whole life, and then she this is the result paired with her genetics. And so it's just got me thinking, like, if there's even if there's a sliver of a chance, which there is because there's genetics involved, that I may end up with some form of dementia, do you think that the memories that I want to re-loop in my brain are going to be things of agony and pain and stress and worry? No, I want to loop memories that are good and happy and joyful. So why am I going to spend my years, my days being consumed with things that in the end, down the line, they're probably really not going to matter very much? Like, that's where I'm at. And a lot of times I think for a lot of us, it really does take something big, even though we always know that anything can happen, right? We say that all the time, but that's just how our brains work. If it's never happened to us, we have a hard time believing it. If we don't have proximity to things, we have a hard time believing it. And even though my grandfather went through Alzheimer's, I was young, and so it wasn't as, I don't want to say it wasn't as impactful, but this is very impactful for me, having my mom go through it and having to navigate it as her daughter, and all of that. And so it's very close to me. And not only that, but my dad went through cancer 3 years ago, and thankfully, God bless, he is doing great now. But in a span of 3 years, my father went through chemo, and my mother got diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. And I'm just here like, why? I'm literally going to control what I can control, because those are things I can't control. Even in myself, right? A diagnosis for something. I mean, to some extent, diet, exercise, but whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And so I'm going to control the things that I allow in my life to cause me agony, if I can. So it's like, why would I keep dealing with a person that stresses me out? Why would I keep answering the phone call that gives me anxiety? Why would I keep engaging with someone who really doesn't fill my cup? Why would I keep doing something that I dread? Like, let's just say there's something I committed to, like school, right? My MSN program. At the moment, it felt great. It sounded great. I had aspirations, and then things changed. And I could have suffered through going through that program. But why? Why would I suffer going through it when school's always going to be there? I can go to school whenever it fits into my life and I'm ready and it makes sense. So why would I put myself through complete agony and pain when I don't have to? And if I get to go back to school, great. If I don't, great. Like, I've still done great things. So it's just like, why would I do it under pressure, under stress, under agony, and not be able to enjoy the process? Why would I keep working at places that don't serve me? And this is just talking like in general, like why people have to start thinking like this. There's plenty of jobs, there's plenty of opportunities, there's plenty of people in the world. Why do you keep subjecting yourself to these conditions that are like agonizing, causing you pain and stress and anxiety and all these other things. And it's like, there's other options out there. You might not think there are, or those other options might be scary, but they're there. And unfortunately, it's sad that it does take us losing somebody getting a very hard diagnosis with their health, experiencing something very difficult, for us to be like, I need to rethink this. So yeah, I mean, that's just where I'm at today. And it's weird because it's very liberating and freeing for me, but it's also very scary for me because I am such a type A planner that I even have to pray to God and tell him, block me from being able to be my worst enemy, because I am. I will know something is true to the core. I will have my intuition will be telling me, and my brain will still try to trick me out of it. And I know that. And so like, I'm like, God, wherever you're leading me, please remove any ability for me to be able to stop it from happening, because I know myself. But I also am at a space where I feel so liberated that I really truly am just like, whatever is going to happen is going to happen, because at the end of the day, guess what? All I have is my family, my friends, and whatever time God is going to give me with my parents, while we're still navigating everything. And I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to stress. I've stressed long enough, and most of the time it's for no reason. So I ain't doing it no more. Oh, I ain't doing it no more.